All right, so let's talk about Jack's golf game and golf swing. When you're working with him tomorrow, what do you think would be a good, yesterday, and we'll work today too, but what do you think would be a good game plan for Jack? As really he was spinning his wheels for a while. Just recently, the scores have been catching up with his effort level.
Right.
So what do you think is a good game plan for Jack?
So this is where we gotta be careful, because now he's starting to get confidence. You know, like even though he's right behind us, Jack's starting to get some confidence over your ability, which is great. So we don't want to disturb that. So what we want to do is say, okay, let's do something real simple, so he can get a little bit better compression into the ball. And that's really what we did yesterday. So I said, okay, all we have to do is control the club face a little bit better on the way back, because the club face was getting wide open at the top. The swing was getting long, and so we just went into a simple drill, good checkpoint at kind of the beginning, and then kind of a little bit, the perception was feeling a little bit closed, you know, at the top, but now all of a sudden the swing got into a great position, and then from there he was able to started compressing the ball because he wasn't just swiping it. Now all of a sudden that little bit of a change, if we can get that implemented, that's it. So he can continue playing his good golf without overthinking the mechanics, because we only had to do one thing, you know.
You don't necessarily need, like, oh, I'm making a swing change, so the next 2 months are going to be a wash. They're going to be a horrible golf.
No, if anything, this will happen if we can get that club face on a little bit more under control. It's even going to kind of expedite, because he's going to get more confidence. All of a sudden, he's hitting the ball better, and he has more belief into what he's doing, and now it's really going to take off.
Is there a connection, because I've seen with Jack and then also with Clint at the school,
yep.
Is there a connection between being real sloppy at the top and also being like too open at the top?
Right.
Yeah, like yep. They can do this a lot instead of like there's some control in that.
Yeah, and it's real simple. The left hand is a touch too strong, and it's all in control.
When it's like this.
Yeah, so with the grip, yeah. You know, you get that strong grip.
Oh, too strong, yeah.
So
because
like
they can really mobile when you're like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and that means I just know that the left arm is in control of that whole golf swing, and then it just flops up there because the left arm is in a weaker position at the top of the swing than the right, because it's actually trying to hold the club from the top instead of supporting the club from the bottom.
Right, because if we go right strong and left would naturally be pretty weak, so then you're up here and it's
exactly
rather than getting them matched up. And
yep, perfect. Cool. Yeah, so that's all we got to do with Jack's swing.
All right, so golf swing wise, now what would you recommend him do? Jack's at a country club, so he can golf as much as he wants this summer. Stuff on the course, stuff on the range, chipping. What do you think would be a good prescription to
get the driver just bombing it? You know, and I think we saw Koepka do that. It just, you know, the game now is unfortunately or fortunately has changed to just hit it long off the tee. Great wedge player and and putter.
Yeah,
I mean those three things are
kind of like the Masters contest: drive, chip, and putt.
Yeah,
that's really what That's
really what it is. Because if you can control the driver, you can get your irons around.
Yeah,
you know,
that's one thing with Jack swing I've noticed that is different from the other 15-year-olds I play with and stuff. He does kind of wave at it. It doesn't really have that explosiveness through the ball.
Right, and so, that's that open club face at the top.
Okay, because he doesn't feel like he could.
Well, he's got to now manipulate it and kind of just flip the hands.
Just kind of wait for it and flip it
in order to square it up. And now you're instead of kind of just pushing into it, now you got to kind of twist it, and now you lose all that force, some of that linear speed and velocity, into just rotation.
Jack, do you remember? Is this our turn here?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Directions to Golden Horseshoe Golf Club.
Jamestown. What do you think, guys?
I know.
Well, we're going straight.
I know.
It did look like it.
This is that covered thing. So I think it's after this.
Yeah, that wasn't.
That was it.
No, that one. I don't think that's right.
Turn right. That's it.
That was it. Yeah.
That's okay.
What do you?
It's recap.
Yeah, I can't hit the brake and slide it.
All right, you turn it.
Okay.
3/4 mile. All right, so Tony, was good talk. For me, when we didn't really do anything together yesterday, we will today a little bit. But for me, you and I were talking about, and this is a whole video I would love to do with you at some point. We were talking about how proper sequence creates low point. What did you mean by that?
Well, let's kind of dive into what I saw in your swing yesterday. It was a little bit kind of spinny at the top. So in your transition,
so I'm making a much better backswing.
Backswing is like awesome.
Yeah,
it looks really, really good. So good work on that. And I know you were kind of working on the spine angle thing, but what ends up happening?
Yeah, staying back on it.
Yeah. You were just trying to, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing, because I was trying to stop you from that spin move you were making. So at the top, you were just kind of over-rotating. But what I'd rather see is keep the spine angle in the whole body in a good alignment, and then transition and really get that push and that forward motion. So it's not an arm extension. It's really more of a forward motion with your arm. And when you do that, and then that body kind of continues pushing that, next thing you know, you're hitting right up into your left leg, and that's where the low point where we want it. So many guys are trying to misinterpret the right arm. It isn't a downward motion this way, it's a forward motion that way. So it's that horizontal adduction motion that we want.
Yeah.
So you get better at that push. I call it a push, but you may feel it a little bit different.
Do that, then you turn that in.
Yeah.
Go back.
Get more of that push this way, and then just kind of feel like you just kind of keep going through the shot.
Yes, because for so long from the top, it was like kind of a lower body lunge, and now I've been doing flamingo drill and feet together and stuff for a while. But you were saying I can kind of graduate past that now from the top.
Right.
I don't have to do so much.
That way you can really put everything through the ball, because you've just kind of gotten a little bit too much separation, which is good, because that tells me you've been practicing the right way. So now let's take it to the next step in this and really kind of get it working through the ball.
All right, cool. Guys, Tony is if you YouTube search Tony Luczak, you'll see his channel. Subscribe to that. Go to reactionarygolf.com. And if you're interested in getting your swing looked at by Tony, tell us about Inside the Golf Lab, Tony.
So if you join Inside the Golf Lab, what we do is not only share with you a bunch of the research that I'm looking into from around the world, but we also use Huddle app to do online videos. And I've been surprised, I really have been, how well this system has worked to get the feedback back and forth and the changes. I mean, some of the emails I'm getting, guys are just dropping strokes right and left. The distance is improved. The back's not hurting.
Right.
All this done online, and it's like, okay, this works. And part of it's been a learning curve of what to say, what not to say. But I'm really surprised. Matty D up in Vermont, we've totally just reworked his whole golf swing, done completely online.
Yeah, that's MD 18 under par.
Yep.
Never even met him in person.
We didn't. Jeff and I met him
at a PGA show or something.
At a PGA show. But I was like, hey, man, I seen you on video, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And it's like, and then all of a sudden, him and his dad called me up this winter, and it's like, hey, we want to work with you. I went, okay, well, let's give it a go. And we've done everything online, FaceTime and sending videos. And right now, it's looking so good.
Yeah, if you guys watch his, if you're on MD18 under par Instagram, and you see the Instagram stories, pretty much every night in that barn, he's feet together. And you guys do this cool drill he was telling me about, or you were telling me about it, I think, but I see him doing it like almost every night. So he's got the sky track into the projection screen, and so it's something like with the line where he tries to keep it as close to the line, and each night I see he's like doing it further and further. What is that drill?
Okay, so what we ended up doing, and where this started from, is when I first got the foresight system, HMT, we could measure what the path of the club was doing without relevance to the ball. So we knew what the path was, knew what the face was. So now we add the ball into it, and so that we started out saying, okay, how straight can we hit the ball? Can we get zero change in spin axis, zero side rotation? So based on some of the robotics from the engineers at Callaway really mapped out what produces a straight shot, which is a zero path. So I'm teaching him how to do that with the short game and keep that ball on that line, you know, within a yard of that line is the goal.
So there's a straight yellow line that goes to infinity.
Correct.
And so he's starting just 10 yards, and it can be, like, you want it to be within a yard of either side.
Within a yard of either side, and then obviously you can't graduate to a longer shot till you can kind of master this one, and then keep going out. I got as far as probably about 75, 100 yards when I was working on it consistently. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because now
that's just this flexion extension.
Exactly.
Little shot straighter. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to this channel. We're just arriving to the golf course. If you guys would like a Be Better Golf School or interested in working with us, in your city, they're thinking about adding one more city. We like Virginia, we like California, but we're thinking about adding one more. So let us know where you would like to see it, and if you have a connection with the golf course, maybe we'll do it. All right, later, bye.
See you.